So I was in Boise and I bought a pickup and decided to drive it home to Alaska. It's March. There's going to be less traffic. The wildlife's going to be down by the roads and the scenery is going to be spectacular. So why not? Let's go do it. Let's see what it's like. It's going to be a great adventure.
So this is Canada. This is what you envision Canada looking like. This is incredible. This is just like, wow. That's all I can say is, wow. You need to come here and see this. I'm at an overlook at Kootenay National Park, and this view is pretty incredible.
Before I entered Kootenay National Park, I went through this place called Radium Hot Springs. This is a resort area up in the mountains. It looks like there's year-round activities. Somewhere I definitely want to go back to and spend a couple days exploring, because it just looks like there's all kinds of stuff to do around there, no matter what time of year. I saw golf, I saw skiing, camping, fishing, boating.
I'm still in Kootenay National Park, and I just couldn't pass up stopping and getting a view of this mountain back here. That's just incredible. It just goes up and up. I hope you enjoy this as much as I do. So I'm in Banff National Park, and these mountain ranges are just absolutely stunning. It's blue sky, not a cloud. Very little traffic on the highway. Just amazing. And the temperature's pretty nice. Probably about 30 degrees. This raven is definitely the boss. I think he's a park ranger. He's walking around being bossy, but that's okay. It's kind of cool to watch. He definitely owns the place. Definitely a talker. These mountains here in Banff National Park never end. They just go on and on for miles. They're incredibly rugged, and the sky is just clear blue. I can't get over it. I keep just getting distracted staring out the window, so I have to stop and capture more video.
As I came around this corner, ahead of me I saw cars stopped, and I pulled over and I looked up on this hillside, and there were bighorn sheep walking around. At first I only saw the two, but then I looked farther up and there was a whole herd of them. It was very interesting to watch them, the way they can just walk around on the steep rocks and then not fall and crash to the ground. Very interesting. They didn't seem to care about the cars that were down below parked and the people watching them. around this corner, this bighorn sheep was right down on the road. So I had to stop and watch him for a few minutes.
This is Muncho Lake. Might be a little static from the wind, but this lake is super long and it's just surrounded by mountains. So far this morning there's been very little traffic, and it's about 10 degrees. Here's a small herd of bison. When I first pulled over, there were only 3, but all these other guys came out of the woods to see what was going on. Well, the sign is right. I saw bison, and we'll look over here to the side, and you can see where they've been walking back and forth along the road. And these tracks go up and down the side of the highway for miles. I'm gonna just stay in the truck here. There's a herd of bison wandering around on both sides of the road. They don't seem to really care about traffic. I don't know, there's probably 30 or 40 of them, maybe more, but they just don't seem to care about traffic. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, not a good place to get out of the road. Oh, that was that. That was pretty exciting.
This signpost forest was started in 1942 by a soldier, and people have been adding to it ever since.
This will show you how expansive this place is. The sun hasn't come up yet. I do some night driving early morning. Sometimes I can go 50 miles and not seeing another car. I just have to be real careful of the wildlife, like moose, deer, elk, caribou, bison, sheep. I've seen all of them out on the road. I've had an owl swoop at me. Just have to be careful, but it's less traffic at night. This will just give you another view of this tremendous open scenery. Mountains in the background. The sun is starting to highlight the tops of them. It's pretty incredible. And I thought I'd mention through this whole trip, I'm not staying in hotels. I spend the night sleeping in the passenger seat of my pickup. I have a very comfortable little nest with the seat reclined and a nice big comforter. Stay plenty warm. I've spent nights where it's been anywhere from 0 degrees to 20 degrees. And when it gets cold enough in the cab that it wakes me up, I'll start the engine and let it run for about 15 minutes and then shut it off again. And depending on the temperature, sometimes I can go 2.5 or 3 hours before the cold wakes me up. That just adds to the adventure. These mountains are just fabulous. And I can stand out here and not worry about traffic. I'm going 50 or 60 miles sometimes. I'm not seeing another car either direction. It's peaceful, it's quiet, no traffic. So that line is the border between the United States and Canada. So let's talk about the road from Idaho to Alaska. Long road. Most of it's really, really good road. Wide road, big shoulders, very little traffic this time of year, which is March. The section from Haines Junction to the Alaskan border is the roughest section of the whole drive. And I would say that the whole length of the Alaskan highway, there's probably less than 10 miles total that's gravel. It's been a great trip. About to cross the border, go through customs, and work my way home. So we're now in Alaska, and this is mountain range way off in the distance. Just to follow up from my last video when I arrived in Alaska and I commented on the rough roads from Haines Junction to the border. Well, when you go across U.S. Customs, you're going to hit some beautiful new road, but don't be tricked, because I'm almost all the way to Tok and the road is just as bad, other than a couple patches of fresh road surface. But it's still nice to be back in Alaska. So this lynx is walking down the side of the road. He doesn't really care that I'm walking beside him. Look at that. Wow. So this is Gunsight Mountain. You can figure out why it's named that. And we're going to pan around. It's just amazing, all the snow that's out there, because it's still winter here. I'm between Glen Allen and Palmer. And it's clear blue, sunny, and about 33 degrees. So this is the Matanuska Glacier off in the distance. And then you can see just the rugged mountainscape. Pretty amazing. We're getting close to Palmer.
I am south of Anchorage now, and this is Turnagain Arm, and I've spent 5 days and 4 nights traveling, and I'll be back to Soldotna by the end of the day.
We're getting close to being home. Of all the places I've seen, this is still the best part of the country, the Kenai Peninsula.
Make sure you subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to be doing a lot of travels in Alaska. Make sure you comment, share it, and like it.